how many kids do you have again?
2.
Two. Okay, because I see you with the kids in the summertime picking the hobby or the thing you want to do out of the hat. How have they been liking that?
They like it all right. We kind of fell off last week because I got a little sick, and so we're like still trying to make up for like the last 8 days or so. So
But
they'll forgive me.
they didn't find it too corny.
No, they really liked it because like
Right
they
on.
helped me add things to it, and like there were certain things that we do usually like in the summertime anyways, and it's like, oh well, we just do that day. Like we went to the creek, which is what my kids call it, but it's like a little back road. We ride the side by sides too, and like basically pristine area to like just enjoy the day. And we do that a lot, but like knowing that that's what they picked for the day, they were really excited about it. And
No,
so
did
that
anybody
it was fun.
did anybody slip into the bucket something like trip to Jamaica or nothing like that?
No, they did put like a trip to the water park, and I'm like, guys, we don't live near a water
Water
park.
park, you know? What's the closest one to you?
Well, honestly, like the closest one worth actually going to would probably be like in the Smokies. Like
Okay.
there, yeah, we don't really have one near us.
Tell anybody that's watching or that will watch this because all my lives get saved in the form of a video. Where exactly are you again?
So I live in Kentucky, but I'm right on the river. So there's the Tug River that separates Kentucky from West Virginia, and my backyard is literally that river.
Okay.
Like that back there is West Virginia, but my house is in Kentucky.
Interesting. Interesting. So, and you said that the Smokies would be the closest one. How far is Santa Claus, Indiana, from you?
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay, because that place that's got a wonderful theme park and huge water park. If you've never
Really?
been to it, yeah, it's got
No.
America's first theme park.
Really?
Oh yeah.
We I don't know what is going on out there. I have no idea. I have no
I'll have
idea.
to send you some information about that place at some point in time. It's like a very small town. I'm talking like 200 people, but they have this humongous theme park and literally a world record setting water park. It's the world's longest water coaster, the second longest water coaster, the first launch this, the first one of these. It's like it's insane. So I'll send you some information about it at some point in time. But that's not
Yeah,
why we're
that's
here to
cool.
talk.
That's
Uh,
cool though.
yeah, it is. We went to it. It's about a 6.5 hour drive from us in Chicago down to southern Indiana, and it's in a town called Santa Claus, right on the Kentucky border.
Oh, okay.
Right,
I've been to
right.
Louisville one time, so like
Okay.
but that's as far as I'm.
And see, for anybody that is watching, I learned the hard way that that's how you say it. It's not Louisville, it's Louisville.
Yeah, Louisville.
It's Louisville. Because when you say Louisville, people from Louisville go, "What the fuck are you talking about? That's not a thing. We're from Louisville."
Yeah.
Okay, so the thing that catches my eye about your content most often is when you talk about sort of it's you and there's another woman that I follow on TikTok that does communal teaching of kids in Appalachia, and you talk a lot about teaching the next generation good stewardship of the land and teaching the next generation um, how the land has benefited the people over the years. Something that people in cities and even in suburban areas take for granted that happens out there in the world because we have our little gardens and we think, oh look, I got a couple of tomato plants and I got a cucumber plant and look at that, I got one zucchini growing. Tell us the importance of making sure that generationally you guys understand what the land does for you.
Well, like your land is your sense of place. So like it's linked so much to survival here, and the ironic part about that is the fact that we, the people that live here, don't actually own the majority of the land here. That's something that a lot of people don't realize. It's a lot of land ownership that is tied back to the coal industry. but we still feel like this inherited responsibility for tending to it in the best ways that we can. Um, and like, I feel like when kids grow up, like, especially with my kids, grow up learning about like why this place is important and why it's important that we honor it, they have like pride in that place. And it makes it harder for the history to repeat itself. You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes it harder. Like, they see their self in that place, and you can't. It's harder to convince people to sell off to like data centers and stuff like that. Like, it's yours, and it's not inherently ours. You know, we know that, but like,
But who does technically own the land now? Like, so you said that home ownership, most people don't own it. So, like, what is the home ownership rate ish roughly? I don't know if you know these numbers off the top of your head. And who does own the land?
so well, one of the main like land owning companies in the area. So when I talk about Appalachia, I'm specifically talking about Central Appalachia. That's my like,
Right. Yeah.
don't know anything about anywhere else but where I'm at. So it's actually like Pocahontas Land Holding or Cotiga and all of these other development agencies own massive swaths of land. And so that's one thing that like I do with work is try to work out like my actual 9 to 5. I try to work and create sort of like contracts between people who don't own the land and people who do own the land so that they can still steward the land. And we like do lease work and things like that with locals who live here and the owning overseers. But those are and all of those overseers go back to the coal industry where I'm at.
So, well, like, what percentage of your area pays rent to these companies, and what percentage actually do own the land?
I'm not really sure right off the top of my head, but I know in West Virginia, it's something like 80% of the land is owned by out of state people. So when people criticize like issues in this part of the country, it's like a really, really complicated conversation to have because it's
Right.
basically an internal colony.
Yes. Yeah. So you guys are being stewards of land that you don't own. Is there, and I'm not trying to be predictive, but we have seen a decrease in the coal industry over the years. I mean, obviously, you've seen that happen. With that continuing to decrease, do you ever see a possibility that the people in the area get to own the land again?
No.
No, they're just going to rent that shit forever.
They do things like turn it over to be turned into a federal prison site, or they turn it into solar field farms. Like the one of the major coal companies in the county that I live in, they did something and sold out a huge portion of the land, and it's now a solar farm. And the solar is produced and sent to Toyota in Georgetown. Like, it does not benefit the people that live here at all. So
It
again, it's like a same cycle, different.
it's specifically for a company
Yeah,
to
they
utilize.
purchase the energy off of it. Yeah.
Speaking of energy, I guess since we're on the subject of energy, not that I thought we were going to go there, but because we're there, are you guys seeing what the rest of the country is seeing as far as increased energy bills?
We've always had a lot higher electric bills and energy bills than other places. Like, I'm actually on solar. Like, my house, we're still tied
Right,
into the grid,
right.
but we have solar and it does like the crediting program and all that kind of stuff. But my entire life, we have had significantly higher electric bills here in Appalachia than the rest of the country, which is crazy to think about
With the
because
coal there,
it goes out. Like, it's literally an internal colony. The resources are taken, the people are used, and it all flows outwards. Like,
they came in and sucked the resources dry. and utilized the labor that existed in that place to do so, and then went, all right, fuck off. We'll send you a bill every month for the rent.
Yeah.
God
There's
damn.
still like places here that are like if you drive through them, they literally are coal camp houses. And
So okay.
like people own them now because their families would purchase them out over time, but like you can tell they're like copy and paste, and it was a coal camp, and you can drive up in there and see that like it's just remnants of what was, and people think, oh, that was a long time ago, but it really wasn't. It really
No,
wasn't.
and you know, I mean, for people that now listen, I didn't get a chance to experience that. The most I got was, like I said, Southern Indiana, which I mean had its own issues and whatnot. And oddly enough, I came from coal country, but for people that don't have an opportunity to understand what she's talking about, oddly enough, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think that like the setup, the beginning that you guys see in the movie Coal Miner's Daughter is probably as accurate a depiction as possible. You work for the coal company, you live in coal housing, and when you get paid, you give that money back to the coal company, which is where you buy your clothes and your food and everything that comes from some store somewhere is from the coal company. So back
Yeah.
in the day, these folks, their entire life was within the coal company, earning and giving it back and earning and giving it back, which means it's sort of like a hamster wheel. There is no possibility of outward growth. You're kind of trapped there, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And like there would be multiple different companies in one county. So like the county I grew up in is Mingo County, West Virginia. And that is right on the border of Logan County where the Battle of Blair Mountain took place. And the there were at one point like hundreds of small operating coal mines in that part of the country. And if you worked for Make One Coal Company, you could only spend your little coin that was stamped Make One Coal with Make One Coal. You could not go to any other coal company and try to buy anything at their store. So you're locked in. And they would lure people that was, immigrating over here in the early 1900s, late 1800s, and entice them with like, oh well, we've got plenty of work, we've got plenty of work, and then you show up, you have to buy your boots from the company store, you have to buy your pickaxe, you have to buy your lantern, so you start your job indebted to this company already, and then
It,
it just creates an insane cycle of abuse. And then that's where I think like people like my dad and my grandpa that all were more close to like my papa was born in the early 1900s, so like his family lived, you know and then my papa teaching my dad's like, we have to take care of this because taking care of the world that we live in is also going to benefit us in the long run. So it created a way to exist outside of the company by tending to what you could and providing for yourself and like that sustainable thing. But you also had like an entire network and community of um I was just reading my little sister's comments, but you had like an entire network and community of people that were really dependent on each other to survive.
so, like, how much of your food comes from what you grow over the course of a
Right
year?
now, a lot of what I grow. I have a huge garden right now, and
I know I follow it. It's amazing.
I try to grow, and I've really been my dad, my papa, they could all survive all year on what they grew in their garden. And I'm trying to make sure that I learn and keep those kind of traditions. Like in my early 20s, I thought, what the heck is this? Like I'm too cool for this. But now I'm like, oh, this actually means something. Like this is really important for us to keep it going. And some people think I'm crazy. And I'm not like a prepper in some like lunatic apocalyptic type. I don't
No,
do
no.
that. But it's like if I can take care of myself, then I can also help and take care of others. If I have that knowledge and can sustain myself and my family, then I can extend in a time of need for somebody else.
And do a lot of people in the area rely heavily on what they can grow over the course of the year?
Um, I would say not now. Like
No. Okay.
a lot more, people they grocery shop at just a traditional grocery store. But then again, that goes back to like access to land and who has it available to them. So,
Right. Yeah. If you don't have the plot, you can't grow anything. You can't. So I'm assuming that farming is not very big in the area either.
oh no, no, not like industrial farming or anything like that. No, you just have your own little garden that you make do with.
And what? So what is the predominant industry in your area?
um, well, it was coal, and then that kinda in the early late 90s, early 2000s, that's when we seen, like, the last really steep drop of that, and it's just continued to decline. Um, there's not I mean, hospital like, nursing, medical,
Nothing has
teachers,
replaced the coal.
no, no.
No.
That was a vacuum. Like, you had all of these people so heavily reliant on it, and all of the
Yeah.
state, local governments, all of it was just so entrenched in to what that produced that once that was gone, it just and it was vicious.
And so then, have you seen a huge outflow of population? Has there been a massive decrease in local population?
Oh, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Lot of abandoned houses and whatnot and what have you. Not abandoned, but just empty, I guess. Not, abandoned. People just went where the money was, where they could
Yeah,
find a job.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's a big issue with, you know, right now they're trying to push, like, the ATV tourism and stuff like that where I'm at.
I'm sorry, the what?
The ATV tourism, like, side by
Oh, the
sides,
tourism.
and
Okay.
they, like, push for that, and so a lot of those houses that, aren't people aren't living in or they're for sale, people buy them and turn them into Airbnbs and that.
So more people that don't live in the area, but just own the property in the area.
Yeah. It's a cycle. It's
It is.
so
It's crazy.
yeah, yeah.
How would like so? What's the size of your town, like, or your area there?
So, Martin County has, like, I would say 10,000 people that live in the whole county.
Okay. And how it's a pretty wide area, like it covers a large area.
I think it's like 400 square miles.
Well, so if there's 10,000 people in the county, what's the biggest town, I guess?
Inez.
And how big is that?
It's as big as your pinky nail.
That's it. I mean, ain't no people in it. So, like, the town I live in is 14,000 people. Would that be considered a large town in your county?
Well, that's more people than live in our whole county.
Well, yeah, I guess so. Shit, I wasn't even thinking about that.
Hang on,
Yeah,
let
so
me
like
look.
I have a daughter that lives in a town that has about 350 people, and when we go down to visit them, I'm like, wow, there's just nothing here. There are some oil derricks and there's some farming and a little bit of cattle ranching, but there are no people there. So, like, when you guys educate, is it? I'm assuming there are a lot of consolidated schools. Sorry for fucking up on the math there, guys. I wasn't even putting
It's
two and two
okay.
together that her entire county is smaller than my town. So do you guys do consolidated schools then? Or do you do what this other woman does? I wish I would have remembered her name coming into this, where she is it's almost like a communal co-op type of school.
No, we have one school in our county. Like, we just have
Okay.
one high school, we have, one middle school, and then we have right now 3 elementary schools, and they're getting ready to consolidate 2 of them.
Okay.
So then we'll be down to 2 elementary schools, 1 middle school, and 1 high school.
So how long do you have to travel to get your kids to school then?
Well, if I took them where on this when I it sounds so weird to people who
No,
don't live
that's
here,
fine.
but if I took them to school on this side of the hill, so there's a big hill that separates our county. If I took them to school on the side of the hill that we actually live on, it would only be like 10 minutes. But I take them
Okay.
across the hill because all of my husband's family is over there. And if there comes snow or something like that, and I have an emergency, I need somebody to get my kids. So I drive them like 20 minutes in the
Oh, okay. That's
mornings
not.
and then
I mean, I say it's not bad because I'm not the one making the drive, but it doesn't sound too bad.
No,
I don't
it's
know.
not too bad.
My kids, they get on a bus and they fuck off and they go to school, and I don't know. They see them at like 3 o'clock. So, uh,
That's what
uh,
I did. I just
yeah, yeah. So, but okay, go back to your sustainable life, because I've been following your garden content, and holy shit, you have got to have an area that's massive to put up all of this food, or do you give a lot of it away?
well, I do give a lot of it away.
And you still can a lot.
Yes.
Yes.
This is I have slowly been learning from my husband's step grandma and her family, like canning and stuff like that. So I message her and I'm like, can you tell me how to do X, Y, and Z? And so each year I learn like a little bit more about the fruits, a little bit more about the vegetables, a little bit more about, and I'm just slowly building in something for my family. But the first 3 or 4 years that I was growing a garden, I was like, brother, what am I going to do with 700 ears of corn?
Right.
Somebody come and get this stuff. Yeah.
Well, we grow more every year than we need right now, because I enjoy it. Gets me out of the house.
Yeah.
Now, because I work for myself, and I work right here in this fucking chair and right here in this office. So it gets me out of the house. It keeps me moving. It gives me something to do. And so we wind up just giving a shit ton of food. We're giving grocery bags full of like jalapenos and tomatoes away all summer long. But like, not quite to your level. You could start a goddamn grocery store with what you grow. Just the potatoes alone is impressive.
I don't know how I grow that many potatoes. I planted a 50-pound bag of seed potatoes, and like I just put them in the dirt, and I made my husband heal them 3 times, 4 times maybe, and I even harvested them a little bit early because that nasty beetle found them and started like eating the vine and all that crap. So I was like, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and get these out of here. And I harvested 182 pounds of potatoes. I was like, oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
That's crazy. I had like I had like six. My wife and I had like 6 or 7 grow bags against the shed last year with potatoes. Put the seed potatoes in. I got nothing. All goddamn year I cared for. I got nothing. We listen. We can grow tomatoes like there's no business. We even go away for a week on vacation. Nobody waters them. Come back, they're all wild and just spitting out tomatoes. Jalapenos and like bell peppers, I can grow with the best of them. Cucumbers all day long. Potatoes, I can't seem to grow shit. I can't get lettuce to grow properly. I can't get the broccoli to grow properly. My herbs bolt on me every damn time. And if I'm being completely honest with you, I'm slightly pissed off that I'm even talking to you about this, because I went and spent hundreds of dollars to get all of my gardens raised up off the bed because I couldn't stop the fucking rabbits from eating them. You've got 974 acres of ground. How do you keep the goddamn rabbits out of them?
I don't. They be out there running around like crazy. I think I just plant so much that
You win by attrition.
like they just out there doing whatever they want
Yeah.
to do. But also I actually feed the rabbits. Like I feed the rabbits
Oh,
out
okay.
by my barn. When I feed my animals sometimes I'll just like
Mhm.
throw them a little bit of food too.
So,
So
yeah, you keep them satisfied so they stay the hell away from your garden.
yeah.
You grow any carrots? This is my first year growing carrots.
Yes, I did grow carrots.
Yeah,
I
and
did.
how do you do there? How successful are you there?
So I did 2 different batches. The first batch I put in the ground on the same day. I want to say it was March 18th because it was before I went to California. But put those straight in the ground with my potatoes. And I pulled them the other day because they there was like a tomato plant from last year growing up in the middle of it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm just gonna clear this up. And that batch, it did pretty good. This was my little haul from Sunday.
Oh, nice.
That
Nice.
was that was just Sunday. Um, and then my second batch, I haven't pulled them yet because they were about 3 or 4 weeks after the other carrots, and I'm gonna let these go a little bit longer. So I mean,
And
they
so you gotta let the tops of those get to be about 1 foot, right?
Yeah, I could have kept like let him keep going, but I went ahead and pulled him because I was just it's too weedy right there where I put him straight in the ground and I
Okay.
hadn't cleaned the weeds out and stuff and the tops had started to like mildew from the all the rain and humidity that we have right now. So I was like, "Oh, I better pull them before I don't have anything at all."
Right. Yeah. So obviously, you've heard people tend to talk negatively about Appalachia, about West Virginia, about Kentucky. What are the misconceptions that people are missing? What's like what are those things that you hear about your area that like, but that's just not fucking true, man. Stop
Well,
saying that.
surprise, Shorty, I have all my teeth.
Oh
I'm sorry.
man, there you go. That was a classic one. I like that.
Okay. We do have our teeth. Like, you know? I don't I feel like it's just kind of like everything, you know? Like people here might have their idea about like what it's like in Chicago or whatever, you know what I mean? But
Yeah,
like
yeah.
only you know what that's actually like because you're there. And I feel like we have to be more open to having conversations and sharing our lived experiences with each other in order for like those stereotypes to kind of go away. And we have to be able and open with, sharing where we're from and not shutting ourselves off to the rest of the world.
Is that what made you start doing content?
Um, well, I started sharing content around 2020-ish, I want to say. And it was mostly sewing, like, I sewed on there, and
Okay.
then people would say stuff about my accent, ask me where I was from, and then that kinda snowballed into me sharing more of my life and things like that on there, so I had a lot of people would say really mean things to me in the comments, and I just was like, "That's not true," and I would kinda dispel a lot of myths that they have or, really, like you said, harmful stereotypes that people hold towards Appalachians. We do have our problems, like, there's problems all across the country, and there's problems that exist in Appalachia that are really unique to us, but a lot of it goes back to the way this area was structured during colonization and after during the Industrial Revolution. So, all of those things, like I said, they create a cycle of what we're dealing with today. So, I don't really
Now,
think there's any one thing that is necessarily something to dispel. You know what I'm
okay.
saying?
Gotcha. It's just a bunch of different misconceptions, a bunch of different little white misunderstandings about the area. Like you said, it's kind of akin to the same thing that I talk about when it comes to Chicago, and the things that people think that go on in Chicago that really don't happen the way they say they do. Same thing
Yeah.
that people hear, and I get it, right? People hear the accent, and people hear that you're from the area, or they hear, especially if when it comes to people who talk about politics a lot like I do and like people like I know do, when they start hearing things like Kentucky and West Virginia, they start thinking, well, you guys are a bunch of backwards hicks that always vote against your own best interest. Which leads me to my next question, which is you do some political content, only a little bit. So how is that perceived? How is that received in your area? Because you are more
Oh,
left leaning, I would imagine, than most of the area is.
yeah.
Yeah.
I I'm more outspoken than a lot of
Yeah.
people. I feel like there are a lot of
No,
people
not
who
you, Danielle. You no, you're not outspoken, young lady.
I feel like a
Sorry,
lot
go
of
ahead.
people have a lot of the same opinions about the world and the way we're supposed to care for each other and like take care of our community and our land and things like that. But that's not always the message that people not from here see. I'm
Mm,
not an anomaly in a sense that, oh, she thinks so out there, off the wall, out there, different than everybody around her. If I sit down and have a conversation with somebody I know voted for Donald Trump, I'm probably going to agree with them on the overall. They're going to agree with me about a lot of things. And when you live in a really rural area, you can't turn your back on each other, because when I'm flooded in and I need my neighbor to help me, I'm not asking them like their opinions on things. If I see somebody in need, you know what I'm saying? I'm just going to do
Mhm.
what
Yeah.
I've been taught to do and help and do the best. And I feel like that behaving in that way makes it a lot harder for them to vilify me when I am very outspoken about the politics that we see taking place today. They can't paint me as some evil city slicker liberal from Chicago because they know I'm from here and everything that I do is based in the love that I have for the people that I live with and that I live around. So,
Well,
there's
well, right on to that. Really quickly to the person, it already went by, but to the person in the comment section that asked who the cute girl is that is talking to me, this is a married mother of two. That's who she is. She is a content creator that I've been mutuals with for quite some time on another platform. And once again, let me remind you, she is married and the mother of two. So don't start that shit in my fucking live, okay? I didn't bring her on here for you guys to hit on her. I don't need problems with her old man. So you said in your 9 to 5, you hook people up between the landowners and the people that live there. How do you do that? Like, do you work for the companies that own the land?
No, I work for a nonprofit and
Okay.
we work with different organizations across Appalachia, West Virginia Land Stewardship Program, and things like that. And we do land research and land utilization research on Appalachia. So we kind of see like, oh, this land is vacant, it's not being used. Um, is there anybody in the area that already uses the land without the, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and can we draft leases and things like that to where there is no harm in them using that land? So it creates like more of a commons area for people to use it, and they'll do things like forage and harvest herbs and roots and do land management and things like that.
Now, so you said it's a nonprofit. How does it predominantly get its funding?
So I got hired under the, I don't know, what was it? Bill, no, is that what was that what it was? The Build Back Better or something like that
Okay.
Joe
Yeah.
Biden passed. So the grant that I got hired under was through the United States Forest Service. And then when Donald Trump did all his crazy stuff, I was actually furloughed for a little bit of time while they were like, "Oh, okay, this is good work," or "This isn't too, it's not too green, not too scary." But
Right. And what does the hubs do without being too specific, obviously?
the what?
Your husband?
He works as a I can't even think of what it is. Service, utility service. He works
Oh,
in
okay.
like the utility service.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Because once again, I know that there are unlimited job opportunities. So, just kind
Yeah.
of curious as to how people are going about earning a living there. Have you been able to have you been able to see any opportunities to monetize from your social media presence? Because I mean, you're growing a social media platform for sure.
I'm trying, but at the same time, it's like a lot to try to manage this and then work and things like that. So I've had like a couple of opportunities to, make a little bit of money here and there, but obviously not anything that's like full time dependable or
Right.
anything like that.
Right. And I'll tell you something. Some of the content that I get hooked on watching the most are people that just drive around and tell the story of Appalachia. They will
Yeah.
literally drive from town to town to town, and they'll talk about what industries are in this town, what industries were in this town, why this town is seeing a resurgence, why this town is it has continued to see a decline. And usually they just like take dash mounted video footage and then narrate over the top of it. And they because people we live in a voyeuristic society. Everybody wants to watch everybody else's shit, right? They want to watch how your life is. That's why reality TV is so goddamn popular. And so people that don't see what you see, they want to see it. Are you familiar with the account Nate Petrosky at all?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's in the northern, like, panhandle part of West Virginia.
So I've been on my main account. I was mutuals with him. I've lost my main account, so it is what it is. But we were mutuals for quite some time, and people are just fascinated with what you're able to do, sort of on that off grid, living off the land type of stuff. And when I start talking about Appalachia, people are like, "Really?" Because a lot of people don't know, and I don't know how many people in the comments section tonight know. The Appalachian Mountain Range is the oldest mountain range in the world, in the history of the world. And it connects with mountain ranges heading up through Canada and going up the west coast of Africa, as well as the west coast of Europe. And it is, and I know people will always go, well, wait a minute, the Rocky Mountains are so much bigger than the Appalachian Mountains. Right, because the Appalachian Mountains have been around for so much longer, they've been worn down over time. That's how fucking old they are. There's shit in the Appalachian Mountains I don't know that we ever want to know about because it's been there since the beginning of fucking time.
Yeah, it's really crazy when you think about it in those terms. And I spent time back in late March, early April out in California, and I went to a bunch of different national parks out there and seeing those huge redwood trees. They're like 2,000 years old. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is what our forests used to look like. Like, not necessarily that species of trees, but like the size and like just magnificent and ancient. And then to come back home, and we're still surrounded by a lot of beautiful nature and wilderness, but it's not nowhere near as old and magnificent as it once was. And that's like, that makes me a little bit emotional.
I mean, it's your area, right? I mean, I get quite emotional and ferocious talking about my area. I mean, and I don't even have a connection to the goddamn land, just the area. You know what I mean? I don't even have that type of connection that you folks do, or even the people that from the area that I came from in Southern Indiana, that would literally coal mine for a living, and then, like you saw in the movie, take some coal home so they could heat their house, go back on a Saturday and have their own little area where they could pitch away some of that damn coal, so that they could heat their house. And people in my area just don't understand what that's like. And they look at that and they think that it's backwards and it's this and it's that, and it's not. It's actually, in my opinion, a more simplistic way of living. We tend to make shit fucking complicated where I'm from.
Yeah.
Everything has to be, well, we won't even get into that because we're not talking about the Chicagoland area. So you really enjoyed your trip to California. What else did you get to see?
So we landed in LA and we were in LA for a couple of days. Then we went up Highway 1 Big Sur because it had just opened back up, and was in San Francisco for a couple of days, and went over to Yosemite, then down to Sequoia, down to Joshua Tree, over to San Diego, and then back to LA. So we did like a really nice loop.
Nice, nice. That's nice. The kids have fun.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Avery, she was talking to me today with my oldest, and she was like, Mom, can you believe we went to California? Like, that's just something so crazy that, like, I'm six generations. My biological dad's side of the family goes back six generations to this same rivershed that I live in now. And so it's crazy to think that, like, for six generations, this is just where everybody stayed. And
Right.
nobody went out there. Like, nobody was like, "Nope, I'm staying right here."
Was that the place that everybody really wanted to go, California too?
Well, I got to go out there for like a work experience, and then I was like, I'm not going for my first time and leaving my kids behind. Like, that's just not fair to me. I'm
Right.
taking them with me. So we went on spring break. It ended up lining up to where I went and did the
Perfect.
work thing a couple days early and then went out.
Right on. That's awesome. That's awesome. Any plans on another one anywhere else in the country?
I've been a lot of different places. Like we've done from Michigan all the way down to Florida. We haven't done from Pennsylvania up to like the New
Gotcha.
England area. Um, I've went as far west as Louisville until I went to California, but we flew, so it doesn't really
Right.
count.
Right. And so for the people, listen, for the people, I know I have some California people that hang out in my life. For the people that live out on the West Coast or live in the Southwest or anything like that, if you're from east of the Mississippi, we have almost everything we need east of the Mississippi. Rarely do we get to go west of the Mississippi. So when she talks about, well, I did everything from Wisconsin or the Great Lakes all the way down. Yeah, that's a lot of shit right there, guys. We don't make it. Once you get east of the Mississippi, there's nothing until the Rockies, which is why we got to fly over them. And we're not shitting on your states. It's just there's so much shit east of the Mississippi. I mean, hell, we
Yeah.
got Dollywood, so fuck off. You know?
Yeah, it is a lot to just like look at and try to plan a trip or to go somewhere different. You're like, oh my gosh, there's so much that we could do and so many different places to see.
Now, in your job, do you get to work from home?
And it's a mix. Sometimes I'm at home and then I go out into the field and do like forest study evaluations and things like that. And then sometimes I'm at an office doing Zoom calls.
Because I know sometimes it could be difficult to juggle the summer break with kids. When you
Yeah.
have a job outside of the home, we always struggled with who's going to watch the kids. How are we going to juggle the thing back and forth? The working from ever since COVID, it's the one good thing that I think came out of COVID was the world realized people don't have to be in an office all the time to
Yeah.
do their job. They can just do a lot of jobs can be done from home. Hell, they can be done from a van down by the river if you wanted to. And so,
Yeah.
a good thing that they let you stay at home for at least some of the time. What is that? One Mississippi, two Mississippi. I don't know what the hell that means. My apologies. I saw it, it caught my eye. So, are you a little bit more comfortable about the lives now that we've been doing it for a little while?
Yeah. I feel like sometimes I stumble over my words a lot.
We
'Cause
all
I
do.
have ADHD, so I'll be thinking something and then not be able to say it as fast, and I have to go back and like, okay, what was I saying?
So, what's the next plan with the social media? Like, what's the next? What are you planning on doing with it? Because obviously you've built a following. I love what you're doing. So, what's next?
I have no idea.
You have no
Wherever the
idea.
world takes me.
Where do you post? You post on TikTok, but where else?
Instagram and then Facebook. It's like linked. So I have a
Yeah.
Facebook page and an Instagram. I do have like some videos on YouTube, but I forget about YouTube, honestly. My sister was like, "You need to be posted on there. That's the best one." I'm like,
Oh yeah, she said that to you.
yeah.
How old is your sister?
Oh God,
She older or
she's
younger than you?
she's 4 years younger than me. So
4 years younger than you.
yeah,
Okay. So
26.
your younger sister is giving you some quality advice here.
Yeah,
Older sis should listen. Listen, it takes a long time to build a following on YouTube. I'm not going to sit here and bullshit about that. She says 27.
oh, my bad. I gave you a year, girl.
She's out here being generous. Take it, God damn it. You know, it does take a little bit of time to build an audience on YouTube, but there is an audience for everything on YouTube. I swear you, there is. Nate Petrosky himself, I think he's got a couple of million followers on this, subscribers on this app.
Wow, that's
And
crazy.
I know that you have content that people would really, really like.
I feel like I get stuck in my head sometimes too, because I'm like, people like seeing you do things, and I'm like, do people really want to watch this? Like, this is like, would I watch this? This is a little weird.
But sometimes it can be. I'll tell you, you did a video the other night that made my wife go, hell yes. My wife had a heart attack Memorial Day weekend 2020, and her and I both became non-smokers overnight, and she has longed for a cigarette ever since that day. And the other day, you made a video talking about who wants to sit on my back porch peeling potatoes and smoking cigarettes all night, and she went, "Fuck yes, I do." And she would have sat her ass on that patio until 3 o'clock in the morning with you and peeled every one of those goddamn potatoes if she could just have those cigarettes.
Oh, well,
It was
she's more than welcome to.
living vicariously through you.
Yeah, it'd probably be quite a drive to get down here, but she's more than welcome.
Okay, where can everybody find you? I want everybody to be able to find you. You said Instagram. What's your Instagram handle?
Danielle Kirk and then two X's.
Danielle Kirk, two X's. And then Facebook, is that the same name of your
Same
page?
thing. Yep, it's all
Danielle
the
Kirk, two
same.
X's. Are you on Threads or Blue Sky?
I'm on Threads.
Yeah. How you doing over on
Accidentally.
Threads?
I didn't.
Accidentally?
I didn't.
You don't even know where you're at.
No, I just see stuff and click on it, and I'll just be like, "Ooh."
Yeah. Next thing you know, oh, hey, how did I get on Truth Social? Oh, fuck it. There we go.
Yeah.
And then YouTube,
Yeah, I'm on
Danielle Kirk.
YouTube. Yep.
Yeah. But your big one is TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok and Instagram. I have like 130,000 over on Instagram, so I'm trying to like grow that one too.
And how many do you have on TikTok?
Two something, 210, I don't know, 210, I think.
210,000. Nice. Nice. Well, obviously, if you need any help with content stuff, you can message me anytime. And if you're ever in the Chicagoland area, you let me know. We can show you the beautiful way we don't live off the land, and we go to the Italian beef stand and get our Italian beef dipped.
Sounds like a great time. There's a lot of
I,
people that left the coal fields for Chicago. So,
really, they
yeah.
migrated north to this area. See, I would have thought from that area you would have seen more migration, maybe towards Louisville or maybe up into Pennsylvania.
No, they went Detroit
Interesting.
and then Chicago.
Detroit and Chicago. Well, I mean, listen, I'm not trying to be, derogatory towards where you live by any stretch of the imagination, but sometimes you got to go where you have a chance to get a job.
Yeah.
When we lived in Southern Indiana, my father worked 2.5 hours away in Indianapolis because it was the best place he could get a job, and putting food on the table comes first. You
Yeah.
guys have a way of doing it a way that a lot of people don't do it. You grow it from the land as well as go to the supermarket and get what you need. You supplement with it, but um, not a lot of people do what you do. Unfortunately, they've gotten away from those old school ways. And you
Yeah.
teaching those old school ways to your kids and then putting that out there on social media, I think is definitely a way to keep that alive and keep that going for the next generation. I'll have to send you that information about that woman that does that co-op teaching in the Appalachian areas, because I think that you'd find her content to be beneficial and interesting as well.
Yeah, I think I might know who you're talking about. I think she's from like the North Carolina area.
Okay.
If it's who I'm thinking of. And she's around my age too.
Yeah, she seems like she's around your age. And you'll have to forgive me, everybody just seems young to me, being the old fuck that I am. You
It's
guys,
okay.
when you guys all remind me of my kids at this point in time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when you guys are in the comment section going, "Woo, who's this girl? Shut up. Shut up. I'm going to be the dad here now. Shut the fuck up." All right, her sister is going to gnaw on your ass if she catches you. Danielle, thank you very much for coming on here. I agree. I greatly appreciate it.
Thanks for inviting me.
We'll have to do a live on TikTok at some point in time too.
Yeah, I've done live on TikTok like 2 or 3 times a long time ago, but I just never make
Did they
time
throw
to.
you? Did they throw you gifts when you do a live over there?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. See, those lives are a good way to make a little extra money.
Yeah.
I know a couple people over on TikTok that are pulling in an extra couple of grand a month off of them.
Dang, that's crazy.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's some money to be had. There's even money to be had here too, but we'll talk
Well,
about that another time. You know what I mean?
okay.
Thank you very much, and say hi to your sister,
I will.
and tell your kids that I'm enjoying watching them have a good summer vacation.
All right. Thank you.
Take it easy. Bye bye.
Bye.